How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make speed garage like Skeptic. Skeptic is one of the best young talents in the speed garage scene. He's had a great success over the past few years. He's released loads of banging tracks on SoundCloud, and this is landing him gigs all across the country. Today we're going to be looking at his Sean Paul Temperature remix. This is a snippet of what we've made by the end of the video. Most of Skeptic's tracks are on SoundCloud. He's gone down a different route to just aiming for Spotify tracks and has built a following just around his releases on SoundCloud. This means that he's got the opportunity to remix any song he wants and post it to SoundCloud and still build a following from it. Whereas if you're only focusing on Spotify, then you're limited to splice vocals and working with other singers. With SoundCloud remixes as well, you don't need to spend as much time tweaking over the mix and the master and things like that. People just want to hear a nice song, and people don't really care about the mix and master on SoundCloud. They just want to hear some fucking bangers. So anyway, let's show you how Skeptic has made his. Let's firstly start with the drums. I'm going to mute everything and then unmute it one by one. So firstly, we've got this nice kick. Just to let you know, all these drums are from my Speed Garage Volume 2 drums pack. You can get that from the link in the description. The pack has over 300 loops and one-shots for making sick Speed Garage like your favourite producer. It's on sale now, so get it while you can. It's also in the Ultimate Bundle, so that means you get all the other packs for a much cheaper price. So firstly, we have this kick. On top of that, we've got this clap. Another clap. Then we've got a hat. Another hat. It's really good to layer your claps and hats because then it really fills out. So for example, the claps, it really fills out that mid region, and the hats is really soaking up that top end of the spectrum. What we then have is this little offbeat snare or rim shot. If I consolidate this, I'll be able to show you it better. So here you are. So if you open this up, and what you've got to do is go to triplet grid. And that's how Speed Garage gets its swing. It's through a triplet grid. Of course, every Speed Garage song has a slightly different offbeat rim shot. But yeah, you can sort of put in your own. It's fairly simple. Obviously, make sure you've got it on triplet grid, otherwise it's not going to work and you're not going to be able to hit those notes. It's just going to sound wrong. So yeah, that's how you make the groove for a Speed Garage track, is through using that triplet grid on your percussion hits. And once you've got this, I've added on a top loop. This is from that Speed Garage Volume 2 pack. This just sort of helps to fill out the high end. Add a bit of groove as well. So what you also can do is get this loop, put it in beats, and then extract the groove. So if you come up here, extract groove. This will then take a few seconds. Yeah, and then once you've extracted that groove, you can then highlight your other drums, leave the kick, go over here, groove, and then put that groove on them. And then it's going to have all the same sort of swing. Now they're all grooving slightly better together. A great thing that Skeptic has done is with this kick and snare crash. So if we have a listen at the pre-drop. So So he's used that triplet grid on these kicks here. So he's got the standard crash, which is really simple. But then what he's done is use a triplet grid to make this like kick drum build thing. So yeah, if you want to also have a look at that, you can. But yeah, you've got on the first beat, and then he also uses the triplet grid, and then there's a little shuffle thing, which is really cool. I've not actually heard that in many tracks, to be honest. So yeah, fair play to him for doing that. Great, now we've got the drums down, we can look at the bass. Here's what it sounds like. This bass is made in Serum and is from my Speed Garage Volume 1 Serum preset pack. You can get that from the link in the description. It's a banging pack, probably my favourite, and has over 50 presets for making sick Speed Garage. I'm going to show you now how to make it from scratch. So firstly, initiate preset. Oscillator A, go to digital, harmonic morph. Do the same thing in oscillator B, digital, harmonic morph. It's going to sound like this. As you can hear, there's a slight click. So this is the amplitude envelope, envelope 1. So let's bring up the attack. Bit of release, just so there's no click. We can then bring this down 2 octaves each. Bassy. But there's not enough harmony in it. So what you've got to do is go to macro 1, wavetable position, drag that on both, and wavetable, let's rename it, and let's bring it up. Getting there, but what we're now missing is the detune. So we need them playing against each other. So let's go plus 30, minus 30. Obviously you can change the wavetable position, but it's important that they're both changing at the same time. So that's why we've got it on this macro, so we can both control them like in unison. Otherwise, if one's slightly off, they're not going to be playing against each other, and it's going to sound fucked. So yeah, they've got to be exactly the same. That's why I use the macro. We can also add a filter. Maybe put it on key mode, A, B. Just put in a sub. Probably just use a sine wave. We can add a bit of noise. Or not, doesn't really matter, does it? We can boost it. And then that's it. You can obviously go ham, add some effects. Obviously on my own preset, I spent a bit more time fine tuning it. There's also so many just like this. But yeah, you can add a bit of like portamento, so then it glides up the notes. Obviously if you take it too far, it's going to sound retarded, but cool. Now let's have a look at the MIDI itself. So we're in the key of C sharp minor, and yeah, if you've got a long note, great. See, I said in the last Speed Garage video, but you don't really use many leads in Speed Garage. It's normally just bass and vocal. So to get melodies, you have to use the bass. So that's why, as you can see, we're kicking up and down a few octaves. So this should also be there, but if you pitch it up an octave, same with this would be there. But you push it up and down just to make it more interesting. Otherwise, if I show you, if I put it down where it sort of should be, so fucking boring, isn't it? You can't have a track like that. You need the excitement of the notes sort of split in half and then pitched up an octave. I mean, that's going to sound like too much, but you get the point. He sort of maxed out the amount that you can do there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you got something of value from that video. I will see you next time. As always, comment down below if you found it helpful and which videos you want to see next. Cheers.